You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Hello traders, this is your Options News Rundown for Wednesday, July 11th. First up is a story from CNBC. Stocks are trading sharply lower today as the trade war between the U.S. and other major economies has intensified, with the Trump administration unveiling new tariffs on Chinese goods. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 206 points, with Caterpillar, Dow DuPont, and Chevron as the biggest decliners. The 30 stock index was also on track to snap a 4-day winning streak. The S&P 500 has so far dropped 0.7% as energy, materials, and industrials all fell more than 1%, and the NASDAQ composite has declined 0.5%. President Trump's administration published late last night a list of 10% duties on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods. The tariffs won't come into effect immediately, but rather face a review process, with hearings taking place mid to late August. The announcement came just after both nations imposed $34 billion worth of tariffs on each other. Shares of Boeing and Caterpillar fell more than 1.5% each. Chip makers also pulled back as Nvidia, Intel, and Advanced Micro Devices all dropped more than 1%. Corporate earnings are expected to have risen 20% in the second quarter, according to FactSet. The earnings season got underway this week, with PepsiCo reporting better than expected earnings on Tuesday. JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo are all expected to report later this week. Next, we have a story from Bloomberg. The latest round of shots fired in the trade war between the U.S. and China has also hit commodities hard, with losses spanning from crude oil to crops and metals. Trump's attempt to rebalance global trade have already sent the commodities world into a tailspin, and the disarray is set to worsen as tit-for-tat protectionism intensifies. Steel prices and aluminum premiums are shooting up in the U.S. thanks to tariffs, while Chinese duties on U.S. soybeans and other farm goods are roiling agricultural markets. While the latest list includes some niche commodities such as rare earths that China exports in significant volumes, the country imports far more raw materials than it ships abroad. That means many of the latest tariffs proposed by the U.S. are unlikely to disrupt major trade flows. Last up today is a story from Reuters. U.S. producer prices increased more than expected in June amid gains in the cost of services and motor vehicles, leading to the biggest annual increase in 6.5 years. The report was published by the Labor Department this morning, also showed a pickup in underlying producer inflation last month. Economists expect tariffs on lumber, steel, aluminum imports to drive up prices, likely keeping the Federal Reserve on track to increase interest rates 2 more times this year. The Producer Price Index for final demand climbed 0.3% last month after rising 0.5% in May. That pushed the annual increase in the PPI to 3.4%, the largest rise since November 2011. That was up from 3.1% in May. Economists polled by Reuters had forecast the PPI gaining 0.2% in June and increasing 3.2% year on year. That's all we have for today. You will find all of these stories and more on theoptionsinsider.com. I'll be back tomorrow with more options news you can use.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com.